Hello and hi everyone. Welcome you all to CBSE English Class 12. Poem number 2, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, written by Stephen Spencer. As you all know that Stephen Spencer was a British poet who lived in between 1909 to 1995, was also a novelist and an essayist. We know that most of his work concentrated on the theme of social injustice and the struggle that he witnessed all around. And we can see that his early poetry was also often inspired by the social protest. He made his reputation in the 1930s with poem expressing the politically concise stricken, left as the new writings of that period. He raised his political voice to expose the glaring gaps and marginalization that ever occur in our society. Coming more about an elementary school classroom in a slum, we see that this poem is just highlighting the pathetic condition of slum children that he witnessed. And also, this poem resonates and portrays the youngsters residing in a slum. Throughout this poem, we can see that Spencer is expressing three things. First one is about government, second one is about economics, and the third one is about education. Because these are the three things that uplift a country's development. And also we see that it is believed that he has written this poem during the civil rights movement in the US. Altogether, we see that when he was writing this elementary classroom in a slum, portraying the social injustice, it's just eye-opening to the worldwide about the education of slum children. Throughout this poem, he is trying to raise the value of sensitivity to the underprivileged, equality to the underprivileged, giving an awareness to the public about such group of people all around. And he never forgets to think about creating a sort of optimism after writing this poetry. In this poetry, we can also see a great determination and the change that he wished to happen after writing this. An elementary classroom in a slum is a perfect social satire that is taken from the book The God That Failed. It was first published in 1949. And along with this, we know that in our society also there are many people or many children who are deprived of better education facilities in life and also better amenities in life, basic things in life. After reading this poem or after learning much about this poem, it's going to be an eye-opener for us also to fight against the antisocial activities that is being carried all around. And also, let's also make an appeal to the government if you see such problems all around. Okay, now it's time for us to go through the first stanza of an elementary school classroom in a slum. I'll read the first stanza first for you. Listen carefully. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces like rootless weeds, their hair torn round the pallor, the tall girl with her weighed head down, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eye, the stunned, unlucky hair of twisted bonds, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lessons from his desk. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game, in a true room other than this. So, as we go in the first stanza, we see that the poet was just focusing the condition of the slum children in a particular manner. The first two lines highly portrays the picture that these children were not at all experiencing any sort of goodness or freshness in their life. That's why here, stressing by using the word far, here he says that far, far from gusty waves. You know that what is gusty waves? Gusty waves means strong and energetic. That can be the strong wind. That can be the strong sea waves. Anyhow, these children are taken far, far away from the strong strong and energetic wind which rejuvenate a child's face. And also these children faces, and they look like what? Roadless weeds. In the first line itself, the poet was trying to say that these children were considered as good for nothing, because these children were compared to what? Compared to roadless weeds. And now, you know that what is roadless weeds? Even roadless is something that is thrown. You know what is weeds? Unwanted plants. In total, the poet was trying to say that they were plucked and thrown away. They were not cared. They were not given any sort of importance. And no one is trying to see whether how these children are keeping up or how they are growing up. It's the responsibility of the government to provide, to supply the necessities that they need in their life. And now, these children says that far, far from gusty waves, these children faces, looking at the face of the children, we see that they are not energetic. They are not happy enough. They feel no goodness in their life. And they are burdened. They are disappointed. Despair can be seen in the faces of these children. And these children were compared to what? Compared to roadless weeds. Roadless means weeds, unwanted plants. And the hair torn round the pallor. Pallor means what? Pallor is face. That means their hair is not kept properly, or it is not well done. So here the children are far removed from the nature's bliss. You know that nature, whenever we feel tired, you know that we would like to spend some time with nature, experiencing the good breeze and also the shower. Nothing is being experienced by these children. Whatever we receive from nature, the greenery, the good, blazing of the sunrise, nothing can be experienced. Okay, so here it says that they are incapable of experiencing fresh and energetic wind or sea waves. Whenever we feel tired, whenever we are disturbed, when we spend some time in front of the seashore, definitely we will get rejuvenated. But what about these children? And now, these slum children are compared to what? Compared to roadless weeds. What is the poetic device here? It is simile, because they are comparing to the unwanted plants. And also they are seen totally ignored. Why? Because that's why they are staying away from our energetic atmosphere, isn't it? And they were thrown with no hope at all. And the appearance of the children shows that they are pale, unhealthy and unkempt. That's why their hair is scattered around the face and they lack full spirit of happy life. You know that this youngster life is one of the most important life in a person's whole year or all life, because in those days what you are experiencing goodness that you are experiencing will not be you will never forget in your life. But what about these children? Isn't it? There is nothing particular about. They are only experiencing some unhealthy attitude from the surroundings in which they are living. Isn't it? So in these two lines, the first stanza, 2 lines, we see that some literary device were also given. What is that? The first one is alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of speech sound. In what? Here it says that far, far from gusty ways. The sound f is repeated. So f. Far, far from gusty ways. That's why alliteration, the literary device alliteration is given here. Now the second one is repetition. What is repetition? Repeating a word again. What is that? The word far is repeated, or it is given stress to say that these children were taken long away from the energetic ways. So that's why the literary device repetition is used here. And what I said earlier, these children were compared with what? Compared with unwanted plants or rootless weeds. So they are the poetic device or literary device that is used here is simile. Okay. So the first two lines, I think you understood what the poet is just trying to express. That is the condition, the unhealthy feature of these children is being presented here. Now the next four lines says that the tall girl with her veiled head down, the paper seeming boy with the rat's eye, the stunned unlucky hair of twisted bonds reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lessons from his desk at the back of the dim class. In these four lines we will understand that how the children look like. And it's very clear and evident that they are malnourished and diseased. Because already in the first two lines we have seen that they are taken away from the nature's bliss. Nature is one of the greatest curer of any disease, mentally, physically. Isn't it? It's a great solace, it's a balm for a healthy life. Once they are taken away from nature, definitely along with that, if they are experiencing poverty in their life, how do they look like? So it says that the tall girl with veiled head down, the paper seeming boy with rat's eye. Two children were expressed here telling that they are experiencing the burden of poverty in their life and they are starving. There is a tall girl with her veiled head down. She may be burdened with poverty. She may be thinking about the disappointment that she is experiencing in her life. And she may be ashamed of herself to lead a life like this. Maybe that's one of the reasons why she is sitting there with veiled head down with a lot of burden in her mind, in her head. The next boy is paper seeming boy. Paper seeming boy means what? You will see that the poet is using a metaphor telling that paper seeming boy, very thin, with rat's eye, and he is very eager to see whether someone is providing some food for him. And he says that the stunned unlucky hair, and such a boy is called to be what? Unlucky hair. Unlucky hair means unlucky generation of a parent who has received what? A disease from his family. What disease? The disease of twisted bonds. A father's gnarled disease. Gnarled disease means rough disease. And also because of this, the child is said to be stunned. What is stunned? Not fully grown. Isn't it? See the pathetic physical condition of the children here. And they were sitting there inside the class. Now you might have got an idea about how the classroom looked like. There is a girl who is sitting with veiled head down. There is a very thin boy with rat's eye. Isn't it? Rat's eye shows that he is very hungry. And he is just searching for at least something to get. And also the boy seems to be like he is stunned. He is not fully grown and he inherited a disease from his father. And looking at the boy, you can understand that, yeah, he is also diseased. Isn't it? And he is trying to learn something from his desk. And now what about the situation of, or what about the background of the classroom? At the back of the dim classroom, even the classroom is also what? It's also dim. No brightness there. Even the life of the children, there is no brightness. Even the classroom also, there is no brightness. So here we see that the poet was just pitifying, or pitifully he is talking about the malnourished and the diseased children who are seated inside the classroom. That's why he said that there is a girl with the burden of poverty. There is a thin boy who is desperate to his parents and he is looking as if he wants for something. And the boy who is seated and reciting text from his desk is having a disease of twisted bond that he inherited from his father. And he is being called as what? Unlucky hair. Unlucky hair means unlucky generation of his family. Isn't it? This is, or these are the children who are seated inside the classroom. As I told you that here the poet is not at all comparing, but he was telling that he is having what? Rat's eye. So the poetic or literary device is metaphor. Rat's eye, attributing the full qualities of a rat is being specified here. That's why he is said to be what? Rat's eye. And also paper seeming boy. Paper seeming boy means thin, like that of a paper. So the poetic or the literary device used here is metaphor in rat's eye and paper seeming boy. Now coming to the last 3 lines of the first stanza. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in the tree room. Other than this, apart from the children who are seated inside the classroom, we have seen that so far we have seen that malnourished, uninterested, pathetic condition of the children was highlighted. But as he made a look around the classroom, in the dim classroom, at the back side of the dim classroom that cannot be noted easily. But still then he noted one boy who is sitting there with what? With a dream in his eye. What is his dream? Of squirrel's game. What is squirrel's game? Squirrel is an animal who just wish to jump from one branch of the tree to another. We have seen that it never sit idle at any moment. It keeps on moving from one branch of a tree to another, enjoying the serenity of what? Serenity of nature. What about the children who are in the slum classroom? Maybe they are congested, or they are living in a congested slum where they are surrounded by an industrial area. So definitely there may be absence of what? Trees. There may be absence of fresh air, and they may be not getting good bright sunlight, and that may be one of the reason why the classroom seems to be like what? Seems to be dim. And in that dim classroom, one unnoted, sweet and young boy is sitting there. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. That means he never want to put his life inside this slum classroom forever. Somehow he wanted to come out of this classroom and enjoy the nature's bliss in the tree room. Other than this, what is this here? This is the slum classroom, because here he can experience only disappointments in his life. He can see only unhealthy attitude that is surrounded here. He doesn't want to be a part of this, and he is just dreaming about coming out from this situation. Okay, so that is what it is said in the first stanza. Here we see that apart from the rest who confined their life in the classroom, one is there whose dream is unnoticed, and he wanted to get into the world outside this slum. And also we see that he dreams of a squirrel's game from one place to another. He doesn't want to confine his life here, and he wanted to enjoy the world outside the slum. Somehow he wanted to get escaped from this slum situation. And the poet saw only one boy at the end of the dim classroom with a dream of green world. This is what you can see in stanza 1. In the totally talking about the stanza 1, we see that the poet was just trying to portray the picture of many underprivileged students. They are ignored and thrown. That's why they are far, far away from the gusty waves. And also he was just portraying young people who resides in a slum culture. Isn't it? And they are not properly fed, they are malnourished, they are not energetic, and they are diseased too, isn't it? And physically and mentally they are malnourished, isn't it? And they are much far away from the nature's bounty. And many of them are diseased and now starving. Poverty is something that is just ruling their life. And apart from that, he can see only one child with the dream in his eyes to enjoy the green world. And now the poet is of the opinion in the first stanza that education goes worthless to an empty stomach. So first of all, you have to make sure that these children were given proper nourishment before giving what? Before giving education. So here, as he was writing, we can see that you have to give you have to wipe away the poverty stricken and the dim slum culture of the students who are in this slum classroom. And also with this poetry, the poet want to uphold the lives of these children to better condition. This is what he was just trying to give out through the first stanza of an elementary school classroom in a slum. The second stanza will be given in the next video. Thanks for watching, and for more videos, like and subscribe my channel English Orchid. Thank you all.